Recording in progress.
Okay, so you're going to start up Fusion 360. We've seen some of these tools up here. This is the sketch tool. This is the extrude tool. And this is the fillet tool and the shell tool, and also the modify combine tool. You will see it says create here that has a drop-down list, and a modify tool that also has a drop-down list. These are really useful to know. In here, this is the information about which layer, which object that you are creating. Down here, this is the orbit tool. This is the pan where we can drag things around, and then the zoom in and out, and also the grid. The grid one, you may want to have a look at when you start off. And snap to grid is useful at times. Sometimes it's not useful every time. If you click on the grid settings, I have mine set to major grid set spacing as 10 millimeters and the minor subdivisions as 1. So you'll want to change yours, and it's fixed, not adaptive. Okay. Now, when you first start, we're going to create our first components. So the first component that you're going to make, we are going to title it cell phone. And then we say, okay. And you'll see there is a cell phone over here. I'm now going to click on unsaved again and go back to this layer, because if I make a new object, it's going to put it in the cell phone layer. Then I go back to assemble again and go to new component, and I'm going to call this one passive speaker. Say okay. You'll see now that I've got cell phone and passive speaker. There is a little dot on the end that you can go to if you're working on one or the other. All right, so I'm in my cell phone layer, and I'm now going to draw something, which is my cell phone. So the first thing I'm going to do is hit the letter P on my keyboard, and it will give me these 3 panels that I can choose from of which face I'm going to draw on. For this one, I'm just going to draw on the flat forward, looking down on the plan view. Then I'm going to go up, because the cell phone is a rectangle, I'm going to click on 2-point rectangle, and I'm going to click in the starting point, which is the origin point. So I place my first corner always on that point. I click, and then I drag out sideways. You'll see that one number here is highlighted and the other one is not. So on the first number, I'm going to click 12, which is the width of my cell phone. Then I'm going to click on the tab button, and it moves to the other button. That one, I'm going to click on 85. I have measured my cell phone, and these numbers that I've put in are at least 1 millimeter larger than the actual size of my cell phone. Then I hit finish sketch. You will see that it moves back to the 3D view, and my object is colored in blue. Now I need to make it a 3D object. So I'm going to hit the extrude button over here, and it gives me this drag and pull option, but also there's a number. My cell phone is 160, so I type in 160, and I hit the OK button. You'll see that the object that I've created is off the screen. So I can go up to here to the views, and if I click on top like this, it will move to the top, maybe to the side, maybe to here. But I can also click on the home button and it will take me back to this view, and it will always put it so that I can see the entire object that I've made. Now, my cell phone has rounded corners. So in this situation, I'm going to click on the corner and then press the shift button. And I'm going to click on as many faces as I can see. Here and here. So those are all of the faces that I can see right now, but there are some lines on the other side that I can't see. So I'm going to click on the orbit tool and I'm going to rotate the object so that I can see the other sides. To get out of the orbit tool, I click far away from it. Then I go back, press my shift button, and I'm going to click, click, and click. Now the radius that I want to fill it is going to be 5. Now I can drag it with that blue arrow, but I can also type in the number 5, and then it changes it, and then I say, okay. I can then go around and check that all of my faces are correct, but I can also get out of the orbit tool, click on the house button, and there we go. Once you've created your cell phone, you need to start saving it. And just like with any large piece of software, there is a possibility that it could crash. So if your computer has lots of movies on it, pictures, it could crash. So get into the habit of saving your work often. To save it, you click on the save button. You can call this passive speaker number 1. And you might want to make a new project, and you could call this last project. You could call yours passive speaker, and then save it, and it should all go ahead and save. Okay. Now, I have created, so I'm gonna